I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Darth Plagueis by James Luceno. This was an awesome book to read. I really liked it a lot. It appealed to the Star Wars fan in me a lot. It was really nice to read and refreshing. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I liked it so much. First of all, I want to talk about like the Star Wars feel of this book. It grasps Star Wars so well, and it gives you like this broader view of Star Wars. And as someone who's liked Star Wars pretty much from day one, almost, I don't know, but I've always liked Star Wars as far as I can remember. And this just, it feels right. Everything feels right. It feels like the ships are right, the fight scenes are right. It is a little grittier, but that kind of matches the prequels as well. So it feels like Star Wars, and it has a lot of characters that you love, or I think you'll love as long as you like the Star Wars prequels. If you don't like the prequels, this book isn't for you. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like them, and if you don't like them, don't read this book. If you do like them, you'll probably love this book a ton. I mean, it's all about Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious. And honestly, it's maybe even more about Darth Sidious. I feel like it's about Darth Plagueis in the sense that he's the master of Darth Sidious. It's not really this is Darth Plagueis' story. It's more like this is the story of Darth Sidious' master. It's really cool. It shows you how both of them came to power, more Darth Sidious again, how Palpatine became Darth Sidious, how he became got the power that he has, how he eventually got to the point where he ruled the galaxy. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it doesn't show, how he became the emperor, right? We already know that, but how he was able to do that. And I really like that. The fight scenes in this book are incredible. It just really gets my heart going. It makes me really excited. I kind of feel like a little boy when I'm reading this book or when I actually listen to it, because it's a lot of wow, that's really freaking awesome. That's what a lot of this book is, honestly. And yeah, some of it is kind of like fan service, but it all makes sense. And I know it's just a Legends book, but I mean, until they directly contradict something that happens in this book, it's canon to me because it makes a lot of sense. It talks about metachlorians a lot. As you know, that's a big kind of thing in the prequels. Some people really don't like that. I think they're awesome. I think it's a really cool concept. And this book kind of explores that more. Not kind of, it does. It explores that quite a bit. And the biggest thing that I got out of this book is a bigger love for Palpatine or Darth Sidious. He's always been terrifying, super cool, but seeing him as a kind of preppy high school or college student is really interesting because it shows you that he wasn't always this grand emperor of the galaxy, or at least, a grand emperor or grand lord of the Sith. He wasn't always that. He wasn't always powerful. So it makes you appreciate the power he has more. And I really like this about I really liked that about this book. I mean, you have characters from Darth Darth Maul. It's on the back. He's in there. Dooku's in there. Some Jabba's in there. There's a lot of really cool characters, and me telling you is not really spoiler. I don't know. Maybe it is a spoiler. I don't know, but I don't think it is. Sorry if you think it is. Um, so yeah, that's all really cool. The writing in this book is it's good. It's the best written Star Wars book that I've read, although I haven't read that many. I read the Force Unleashed book, or one of them, I don't know, it was a long time ago. And I read like these I read the first Thrawn book and the second one, and the writing was kind of the reason why. I couldn't really get past the second one. I will eventually, though. But the writing in this book is perfect to me. It isn't over the top. It isn't like, you don't hear about every little detail of a scene. You hear about a lot of details, but not every single little detail. And I've read books like that, and sometimes that's okay, but it wouldn't have worked in this book, and this book works because the author didn't do that. It isn't an easy, like a necessarily easy book to read. It's not like there's super plain language. There definitely is a style to it, and it fits super well. It feels like the style that Palpatine and Plagueis' story would be in. So it's perfect. The writing's pretty perfect, I guess, if that makes sense. I really liked it a lot. But before I go on, I'm gonna ask you a very serious question, and I want you to brace yourself for this one. Like, really brace yourself for this one. Would you, like, bother maybe, sort of subscribing and hitting the like button and leaving a comment? That'd be super cool if you could do that. I'd appreciate it a ton. I spent a lot of time on these videos, so go do that, please. Please, I spend a lot of time on these videos and it mean a lot to me. And yeah. Anyway, back to this review. The other thing that is the big, like, reason why I like this book is because of the audiobook. The audiobook it's amazing. It's just insanely good, perfect. Definitely the best audiobook I've listened to. Probably will be the best audiobook I've ever listened to, because you have sound effects, music, great voice acting, all of it. It's there. One time I heard Star Wars Theory. If you're a Star Wars fan, you probably know who that is. If you don't worry about it. He's pretty cool, so you should know. But anyway, the point is, one time I heard him say that it felt like watching a movie, just not with the visuals. And when I first heard him say that, I was like,
It's probably over exaggerating.
But then when I actually listened to this book, I agree. I agree. It does feel like that. It's pretty crazy. It doesn't really make sense, but if anything, it feels even cooler than watching a movie. Maybe that's just because I'm a book nerd, but I don't know. I liked it a lot. The audiobook was really cool. It was super immersive. Like, definitely the most immersive audiobook experiences that I've had. And I hear the lightsabers clashing, the bullets firing, the ship engine, the noises of Coruscant, all that cool stuff. Really, really nice. I definitely recommend that if you're going to read this book, listen to the audiobook. Maybe that's kind of the reason why I think the writing is so good, because the audiobook is so good. I don't know. I do think the writing would be good on its own, too. I don't know why I keep uh, pointing at. I just like to point at books. Oh, probably shouldn't do that. Sorry. um. Anyway, you just have to listen to the audiobook, okay? You can read it, but please just listen to the audiobook. Unless you don't like sound effects and stuff, that might be distracting. I see where you're coming from. It wasn't distracting for me. So yeah. Also, another thing that I kind of forgot to talk about earlier is I really liked the planets, and in this book, sorry, the planets and the worlds in this book were really nice. They really felt like Star Wars. They were beautiful and diverse, which is cool because that's kind of a thing I feel like with Star Wars, is sometimes the planets all kind of mesh together and feel the same. I mean, like, if you take like Tatooine and what was the one, uh, I forget, the one from the sequels, that one, the other sand one. I mean, they kind of feel the same. You take like Endor and some other forest planet. There's just a lot of similar planets in Star Wars, but this book had quite a few different interesting planets, especially the Mune world, uh, which is where Darth Plagueis is from. That's really cool. If you watch the Clone Wars, this is going to be even cooler for you because it connects to the Clone Wars a ton. There's a lot. I mean, honestly, why haven't you watched Clone Wars? First of all, if you're a Star Wars fan and you like the prequels, why haven't you watched the Clone Wars? They're awesome. It's not. I mean, it is a kids show, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. We're not going to start. Anyway, this book has a lot of tie-ins with Clone Wars. You have mentions of people like Sifo Dyas, of course. I think they might have mentioned him in the prequels, but not as much as they did in the Clone Wars. Same with this book. You really learn more about him. Count Dooku, learn a ton about him. Really cool. Darth Maul, you learn a ton about him. It's a really awesome book in that sense. But also on its own, I think it's a good story. It has a flowing plot, a amazing end, which you already know the end when you first read it, but the build up to the end is amazing. And I'm going to make a comparison here that you may disagree with, but you might not get it all depending on who you are. But this book has made me feel like Darth Sidious or Palpatine is the light Yagami of Star Wars. If you've ever seen Code Geass and you know him and Kira or Light and Lelouch are pretty much the same. Anyway, they're like super smart and they outsmart everyone all the time. That's what Palpatine is like in this book and Star Wars as a whole. But this book made me realize that this dude outsmarted everyone, and it was amazing. It made sense. Pretty scary too. Like it definitely bumps him up as one of the scariest villains because he isn't just pure power, but also incredibly cunning and smart. So I really like that about this book. Definitely made me like Darth Sidious more, and I really appreciate what this author did. Some of those moments in this book made me think back to my childhood when I was watching the prequels. So that was really cool. That that was really fun. I liked it a lot. If you like the Star Wars prequels, read this book. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment. I would appreciate it a ton. Also, if you could go check out my book, The Cards That Are Dealt, that would be cool. It's about a secret gambling club in a high school. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I'm highly critical of my book, but you should still go check it out. Thank you. And I hope you have an amazing, terrific, fabulous day. Adios.